touch that dial now, we're just getting started.
Nearly 2 years after the announcement and first teaser of OD, Kojima is finally revealing more about what seems to be the spiritual successor to PT. Concept, gameplay, story. Today, we're diving into this new trailer to uncover the mystery behind Kojima Productions' next horror title. So without further ado, it's time to step through the door. Just like PT, the OD trailer opens on a closed door with no handle. Built into it are 9 small compartments, almost like card slots, along with a 10th slightly different one that could serve as a peephole for someone or something much taller than usual, offering a glimpse of whatever lies on the other side. A red card is then slipped through the door. There is a fingerprint on it, but also what seems to be the distorted face of Udo Kier, completely covered with eyes. On the back of the card appears what could be the player's objective. The text reads, "Light the fires to celebrate their something." I think new sacrifice would make sense, especially if Udo Kier is the one who's been sacrificed. Next comes a cryptic message with several words hidden, though it didn't take long for the fans to crack the code. Here's what it says. 10 years since the legendary horror game PT, the cursed survivors have once again ventured into the forbidden. This building was replicated from a 3D scan of an abandoned clinic found in an isolated village, and then they were trapped in a sinister ritual. As clever as ever, Kojima avoids any legal issues with Konami by carefully hiding any direct references to his cancelled project, which is still trademarked and owned by his former employer. Anyway, the protagonist picks up the card and steps into a room where eyes can be seen on a window, on some walls, and possibly even on the chandelier that looks like a giant eye. Interestingly, the eye on the window seems to belong to Hunter Schafer, the third actress of the game's cast. Standing in front of what looks like a shrine, the protagonist has to solve a puzzle involving the lighting of specific candles in the correct order. It appears to be some kind of ritual, likely meant to either drive away the monster pursuing her or to save Udo Kier. She then pulls out a matchbox, which mentions that a plane has gone missing. This could mean that the characters in the game are actually survivors of that crash, who ended up stranded in an isolated village only to be captured and brought to an abandoned clinic where they were used as test subjects for some kind of experiments that pushed them to an overdose. And it's possible that this mysterious clinic has some connection to the city of Atami. In any case, it seems our protagonist got the candle order wrong because the baby clearly doesn't appreciate being burned. This either awakens or draws the mysterious entity closer, setting off her Geiger counter in the process. The danger is now imminent, as shown by the open eye on the wall. When she lights a candle shaped like a child's head, the worms that just appeared out of nowhere seem to react to the head being burnt. As the wax melts, the heat makes the carousel spin, revealing that the childlike silhouettes are numbered from 1 to 6. Having failed to light the correct candles in time, the protagonist freezes, knowing that the monster is right behind her thanks to the frightened eye of Hunter Schafer. That's when we learn the main character was Sophia Lillis all along. As the creature approaches, several faces with different expressions gradually appear on Sophia's skin. It turns out all of them belong to Udo Kier, who really seems well and truly cursed in this game. Eventually, as the mysterious oversized red figure grabs Sophia, we hear it whispering something strange. OD is a game that will rely heavily on our senses. Much like PT, it's likely that the game won't feature any on-screen interface, instead guiding the player purely through sight and sound. The eyes in the game act as detection indicators. If an eye is closed, you're safe, but if it opens, it means the creature has spotted you and is drawing closer. I also believe the eyes symbolize the screamers Kojima hinted at in his trailers. While the player is playing the game, the screamers are watching them in real time through multiple camera angles visuals placed in the room as if they were watching a horror film. This concept would directly support Kojima's statement that OD is both a game and a movie. Similarly, if the Geiger counter goes off, it means the creature is nearby, much like the radio in Silent Hill. But if the monster starts knocking on the door, the player has been spotted and the chase begins. If it knocks twice, it means the player is on the right track with the puzzle. If it knocks 3 times, the player made a mistake and the hunt begins. If it knocks 4 times, the player better run. And if the door opens, it's all over. Sound will therefore play a major part in the horror of OD, just as it did in PT. That's why I believe the word whispered by the creature at the end of the trailer is in fact audio. As its creator explained, OD will be a collection of concept games, much like PT, with each episode or chapter being co-written and co-designed by a different author or director Kojima has partnered with. Knock is the game Kojima created on his own, shaped by his personal vision of horror. There will also be an OD game written by Jordan Peele, featuring an original story and released under a different name than Knock, along with other episodes written by different creators like Junji Ito, Guillermo del Toro, Mike Flanagan, the Philippou brothers, and others. The 9 compartments on the red door could thus represent the 9 episodes of OD. The only question is, will all these stories be connected, and will they revolve around the same 3 main characters or not? Either way, Kojima is once again blurring the line between video games and cinema, this time through the complete absence of an in-game interface and a gameplay entirely driven by our senses, our instincts, and the indirect cooperation between players through the social scream system, which we still know nothing about. This is the concept behind the overdose of fear. OD will plunge us into the depths of fear as experienced by different individuals through a series of short but intense horror experiences that are deeply personal and incredibly realistic. It finally becomes clear why Silent Hills was plural back then, because both the idea and the way it's told were likely the same. If PT was just a taste, OD will be the real deal. 11 years later, the experience we've all been waiting for is back, easing our phantom pain a little.